Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Target 100 in Mathematics by Shivesh Kumar Singh, and today we are going to talk about types of functions. Okay, so let's start the lesson where we'll discuss some types of functions, and these are very important functions for you. The first one is constant function. See, name is telling what type of function is this. Constant function means the function whose value does not change. So how? I have told you in the polynomial also, constant polynomial means when you have any real number, you don't have any variable. Okay, so constant function means fx is equal to any constant, say for example k, where k is any real number. I hope you remember this sign. This is called belongs to. So k belongs to R. R means set of real numbers. Okay, so this type of function, when you don't have any variable here, is called constant function. Okay, now this type of function will have domain as the set of real numbers. I have told you about the domain. Okay, for that I made another video, what is domain, what is range. So domain of such functions will be capital R, means set of real numbers, and its range will be, range means values of fx, so its range will be k, because that's a singleton set. Okay, because here whatever value of x you consider, you will get just one number k. You can say f2 k, f3 also k, because fx is constant, it is not changing its value. Yes, so this type of functions are called constant function. And how you will draw the graph? You can draw the graph easily because it is just a number only. So line will be parallel to x-axis. So here what is the graph this is? This is the graph of fx is equal to 2, because this is passing from 2. You can see here, this is passing from 2. So line is parallel to x-axis. It means it is in one variable. There is no x in the line. Okay, so it is y is equal to 2 or fx is equal to 2. Okay. Now, another type of function is identity function. Identity function means a function represented by fx is equal to x. fx is equal to x. So whatever variable you have here, the same variable you must have here also. Okay, so fx is equal to x is called identity function. Now when you are getting the same answer, it means its domain and range must be equal. So domain is the set of real numbers and its range also will be the set of real numbers. Why? Because whatever value of x you will take, fx will also be the same value. Okay, so that type of function is called identity function. And how you will draw the graph? You can draw a straight line like this. Okay, so this is the graph of y is equal to x or fx is equal to x. Okay, sometimes graph also help us in finding the domain and range. For that I made another video. Okay, and you can learn from that video how to find the domain and range. Okay, now next type of function is modulus function. This is very important function for you. Somewhere it is also called absolute value function. What we say? Absolute value function, meaning is same. Okay, absolute value function. So what is that absolute value function? Try to understand. Any function represented by, like this, one straight line, in between you have x, like this. This is called absolute or modulus value function. Modulus function. Now what does it mean? It means we can write like this: mod x is equal to, it's a double value function, one of the two values, one value can be plus x when x is greater than or equal to 0, and minus x when x is less than 0. Okay, now my dear students, try to understand one thing here, that fx or mod x can assume only one of the two values. Maybe it will be here first value or maybe it will be the second value, but it depends on the condition, that what condition is satisfied. For example, if I say mod of -3, now you see mod of -3 or absolute value of -3. What number here you have inside? -3. -3 is positive or negative? You will say negative. -3 is less than 0. Yes. So when it is less than 0, so this condition, second condition is satisfied here. So if second condition is satisfied, then what is the value of fx? It is -x. So you will write here minus of -3. Why -3? Because x is -3. So minus of minus means plus 3. Okay. Another example we can take, say absolute value of 5. So absolute value of 5, this is a positive number. 5 is greater than 0. So when 5 is greater than 0, then it will be the first value. So what is the first answer here? X only. Okay. So it will be equal to 5. So what you can say? Absolute value or modulus function is always positive. Its answer will be always a positive number. Yes or no? Whatever number you say, it may be fraction, it may be decimal, it may be rational, it may be irrational, but whatever answer you will get after modulus function, that answer will be always positive. It cannot be negative. Okay. So what should be its domain? Its domain will be, I will tell you, its domain. Domain we can define the function anywhere. Yes. So domain will be R. Domain means value of x. Okay. And range. Its range will be, you see, for all types of questions you have seen that answer cannot be negative. Minimum it can be 0. So its range will be semi-closed interval 0 to infinity, or you can say x or y is greater than or equal to 0. Y is greater than or equal to 0. This is also range. Okay. Now the word what I used here for this, semi-closed interval, for this I have made another video for intervals, okay, in the set theory. So you can refer to that video to understand this thing in a better way. Now let's talk about the graph. How you will draw the graph of this function, modulus function? See, I told you there are two things in this graph. One is mod x is greater than or equal to 0. Mod x is greater than or equal to 0. It means there will be two part of the functions. One will be y greater than or equal to 0, means y is equal to x when x is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0 means x will be positive in the right side of y axis. Right side of y axis. So it will be like this. Okay. You see, this is y is equal to x. This part is y is equal to x. Now y is equal to minus x, which will be the second part. You see, domain and range I am raising from here. I am sure you understood that. Okay. Now second part is y is equal to minus x when x is negative. So where x is negative, x will become negative in the left side of y axis. So its graph will look like this. Okay. So this is y is equal to minus x, or you can say this complete is the graph of y is equal to modulus x, or absolute value of x. So what you can see here, y is not coming down, it is not below below x axis, means its value cannot be negative. That's what I told you. Its range will be semi-closed interval 0 to infinity. Semi-closed means it can be equal to 0, no problem, because if you consider absolute value of 0, it will become 0. Okay. Now I am sure you understood this function. This is very important function for you, modulus function. Okay. Now next one is greatest integer function. Greatest integer. Now this type of functions are very important. Okay. See, what do you mean by the greatest integer function? I will tell you here. Greatest integer means fx is equal to square bracket x. This type of function is called greatest integer function. Now what should be the value of this greatest integer function then? Here x is any real number, okay? Now, what will be its answer? Its answer will be, just try to understand, it will be an integer. It will be an integer less than or equal to x. Less than or equal to x. Now, I have written here greatest, but here I am saying less than. Don't you think it is looking little opposite? I will tell you with the example also. See, for example, if I say greatest integer of 2.4, okay, greatest integer 2.4. So you must understand that this answer should be integer. Integer means no decimal point in the answer and less than or equal to the number written inside. So what all integers are less than 2.4? You can say 2 is the less than 2.4, 1 is less than 2.4, 0 less than 2.4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, all numbers are less than 2.4. Yes or no? So many answers are possible. But which integer among all these integers is greatest? Did you say 2? Yes. So you see, from all these answers, which one is greatest? 2. That's what his name is, greatest integer function. Okay. So we consider less than, it's okay. But this answer will be the greatest among the available values. So what all values are available to you? This 2 is the greatest among them. So that's what it is called, greatest integer function. Now, if I say greatest integer of 3, so what you will say? Did you say 2? No, it will be 3 only. Same, because it is here equal to also. Okay. So if number inside the square bracket is an integer, so its answer will be same. Now, another type of function, another type of example can be greatest integer minus, or I can say 2.9. Greatest integer 2.9. What it should be? 3? No, 3 is the wrong answer. I told you we are not rounding off here. We are finding the integer less than. So less than means 3 is not less than 2.9. Yes. So its answer will be 2 again. Now let's talk about some negative numbers. This is, say for example, minus 5. Greatest integer of minus 5. So it will be minus 5 because minus 5 is an integer. If I say greatest integer minus 5.2. So did you say minus 5? No, it is again wrong. Why? Because minus 5 is greater than minus 5.2. We are dealing with negative numbers, my dear students. Okay, so be very, very careful with the numbers. So it will be equal to minus 6. What it will be? Minus 6, because minus 6 is the integer which is smaller than minus 5.2. Okay. So make sure that you are thinking it correctly and you are writing the correct answer. So what should be its domain and range? Let's talk about that. Its domain will be all real numbers. Okay, because there is no condition on x taking number inside, but its range will be what? You are seeing that we are finding the range as the integer only. We are not getting any other number. Yes. So its range will be set of integers, means z. Okay. How you will draw the graph? Try to understand this also. See, its graph is very, very interesting. Why it is very interesting? Whatever number from 0 to 1 you take, 0 to 1 means if you take greatest integer of 0.1, it will be 0. Greatest integer of 0.9, it will be 0. Yes. So whatever function, whatever value of x you will take from 0 to 9, value of fx will be like this, 0. Yes. Now there is an important thing for this. It is circle. This will be at 0 here. Okay. Why I am not making it properly? So it is filled actually like this. Okay. So this is called step function. Why step function? You will get like a stair, okay, with the steps. See, if you consider any number from 1 to 2, so its answer will be 1. Greatest integer 1.5, 1. Greatest integer 1.9, also 1. So from 1 to 2, it will be equal to 1 only, with 1 included. Okay. Now, from 2 to 3, it will become 2 with 2 included. From 3 to 4, it will become 3 included, 3. Okay. So, and same you can go for the negative number also. From -1 to 0, it will become -1 with -1 included. Okay. From -2 to -1, it will become -2. You can consider any example. For example, here if you see minus greatest integer of minus 1.2. So, it will be equal to -2. Okay. Greatest integer of minus 1.6. It will be again -2. So, this is also, you can see, it is like a stair now, where we have some steps. So, this is also called step function. What we say? Step function. Okay. So, I am sure you understood this topic, greatest integer function, because next will be the similar function and it is called smallest integer function. And how do we denote this? Fx is equal to, you write like this, okay, don't close the bracket, like this and then like this, okay. So, this is also, this is called smallest integer function. Somewhere you can see it is written like this, okay. But this type of denotation is not very much common in India, so you can ignore this. So, just understand this only, okay. So, what is the smallest integer function? Opposite of greatest integer function. So, its value will be an integer, it's okay. Its value will be an integer, but that integer will be greater than or equal to x. Okay, just opposite of greatest integer function. For example, if I say smallest integer function of 5.9, so 5.9 means its answer will be an integer and that integer will be greater than or equal to x. So, what all integers are greater than 5.9? It is 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. So, all these integers are greater than 5.9, but among all these options, what is the smallest one? 6. So, that is what its name is, smallest integer function, because we are now finding the smallest value among all available values. Okay. So, you can have some more examples. Greatest integer minus 7.9, or you can say minus 7.6. So, what should be the answer? Did you say minus 8? No, it will be minus 7, because minus 7 is greater than minus 7.6. Okay. Greatest integer of 5, it will be equal to, sorry, smallest integer of 5, it will be equal to 5. Okay. So, in the same way, its domain will be set of real numbers, because there is no condition on x, but its range will be set of integers only. Okay. How you will draw the graph of this function? Graph of this function will be like again a step function. Okay. As you have drawn in the last case, but inclusion will be at the end now. For example, any number from 0 to 1, if you consider any number from 0 to 1, so its value will be 1. Yes. So, here it will be, where we are going, any number from 0 to 1, it will be 1. Yes, and 1 is included. Yes or no? If you take 0.5 here, so its value will be here. Yes. So, for 0.1, it is 0 to 1, all the numbers, it is including 1. Okay. And same 1 to 2, its answer will be 2. 2 to 3, its answer will be 3. 3 to 4, its answer will be 4. Same goes for the negative also. Minus 1 to 0, it goes to 0. minus 2 to 1, it goes to minus 1 like this. Okay. So this is also a step function. Okay. I know I have finished it little quickly because I have explained in detail about the greatest integer function. Okay. So it is just opposite of that. Okay. Now next one is Signum function. What is Signum function? It is given by, definition of the Signum function is fx is equal to, see, it assumes one of the three values. It can be 1 if x is greater than 0, it will be 0 when x is equal to 0, and minus 1 when x is smaller than 0. Okay. So means if you consider f100, so f100 means this number is what? Positive or negative or 0? It is positive. So its answer will be 1. Why? Because for positivity, x is greater than 0. What is the answer for fx? 1. It is a fixed number. It is a constant function like, but you have a variation. Now, another one can be f, say for example, I say f0. So f0 means 0 because here we are taking 0. Similarly, if I say f minus 2, f minus 2 will be equal to minus 1 because it is negative number, and for negative values of x, fx is minus 1. Okay. Now, what we are going to understand here, its domain and range. So its domain will be R, set of real numbers, and its range will be, what you can say, you see, range is only one of the three values, either 1, 0 or minus 1. So its range will have only three elements, minus 1, 0 and 1. Okay. Now, how you will draw the graph of this function? Graph is very easy for this. You see, for 0, it is only 0. There is no change. Yes, because when x is 0, its answer will be 0. But when it is more than 0, when it is positive, then you can see value of x is fixed, which is 1. Okay, value of x is fixed, which is 1. So its answer will be 1, and graph will be like a line parallel to x-axis from 1. Okay, and for the negative numbers, and yes, you see this one, this is not included. What does it mean? Why I have put this circle here? Means for x is equal to 0, it is not counted. Yes. Why? Because we cannot say that which number comes just after 0. So it is an open interval, not included. Okay. So here for 0, same thing. For negative also the same thing. For negative, it goes to minus 1. So for all negative numbers of x, its answer will be minus 1. So line is parallel to x-axis again, but passing from minus 1. And of course, that number not included with 0. Yes. So this is Signum function. So just remember all these functions because in exam they can ask about your domain and range, direct question in the exam, and easy question. Okay. So these are some standard types of functions. I am sure you learned something from this video, and if you think that this will increase your knowledge, then please like and subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you.